Good morning. So it's the next day. Thank you so much for being with me. I have my coffee to help me. um, Earlier I did a live video on Facebook and I could not talk straight, so I can now, I think. Here we go. So what I got to thinking about this is, I put this in kind of straight across, but I want to do something a little bit differently. I didn't make these super thick, so I can come in and change, especially because it's tacked up a little bit. I didn't plan that. I just ran out of time yesterday. So the thing is, you can kind of learn from that. Alright, so I'm going to, maybe I'll try to pull it a little closer and turn it on there. And remember that I decided to use this Evergreen Valley as inspiration down here in the middle and foreground. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get I think I'll use my big brush because that way I can cover more territory. And I'm getting some of that dark paint, making it a little darker with some black. Alright, and so instead of it just being straight across like that, I wanted to change it up a little. So what I'm going to do is use the lay of the land here and come down. And yes, I'm covering those little skinny waterlines. If I had not made them so thin, I'd come in and scrape them. I'm scraping now. But see, that is the beauty of oil painting, this technique, is that it's so forgiving. You can still move things around. Okay, so bringing this on down. We need that dark because you've got to have the dark to make the light. I'm going to get a little bit of highlight color now and come in and very lightly. I'm going to change the way I load my brush a little there because I have the little ridges. But just kind of very lightly, I'm going to merge these in with each other. So I hope that y'all are doing well. I hope that you're following along with this and enjoying it. And I would really love to see what you produce. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't turn out to be one of my favorite ones because I'm really loving it so far. Alright, I get a little bit brighter color, so I did wipe my brush. And I want to make sure that does kind of work with what I've got in the background. And remember what we did before? We came in and we pulled down. Now my canvas being tacked up a little bit makes it where I do have to do a few things differently, but it's okay. I can adjust. We can all adjust, can't we? Yep, that's what life's all about, isn't it? Adjusting. You know, nothing stays the same. And I've just learned to try to roll with the punches. There's times that's a lot easier said than done. I get that. You know what? I'm going to use my clean little 1-inch brush and brush lightly just to blur that. And then I'm going to get my beautiful knife, come in and squish in some water lines. So this makes this a little closer to us. A little bit closer. A little closer. Now, I go into more detail about how to do water lines if you take a class with me. This is a sample, and it's really been a pretty informative sample, so I hope you've had a lot of fun. But I do add a lot more information when you're in an actual class with me, either in person or through Zoom, or something like that. So now let's see how that looks. Alright, I like that. I will probably put a little bit more waterline right about here. And I also see where I might want to make a little bit of morning hoarseness there. Maybe make that a little bit more, a little brighter. So I'm just making a little bit brighter highlight color and come down this way. Maybe here and there. And I can show you in the class setting the different ways to make your paint work for you. You can change it up a little. You know, sometimes you don't want it exactly the way it came out of the tube because you need to do some different things with it. And I can show you that. There are so many tricks that I have learned while sharing this with people and learning from other instructors as well. Okay, so what I think I'll do now is come over, maybe over here, and build a landmass. Let's give that a shot. Now I'll use that big brush again and my dark color. And in my world, there's a little landmass right here. Nice little landmass. And I lift up my canvas just a little in order to make it easier to get to the edge. So as I told you before, we have some goats, and we love our goats. Now we love our Rufus too. Rufus is he is our Yorkie Maltese mixed doggy, and he is not really a farm dog. Now what I want to make sure too is I end this at the right place. I'm pretty good with where I ended that. Okay, I'm going to lay my brush down. And I'm going to pick up my, oopsie, I'm going to pick up my fan brush. And I'm going to get a little bit of that dark. Now you may wonder, why so much dark? And that's something I really explain. And I want to do a class in like why we do certain things, techniques class, online techniques class, where you can understand the reason behind a lot of the things that we do. And once you do it, or once you learn it and then you look out at nature, you will see that you will see why it's there. It's just sometimes we don't even really notice until we have to paint it. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to put me a little line and come in, and I start kind of low. I'm going to have to hold my canvas steady. So that is not dark enough, but I will go in, add more dark. Okay, so I see that I'm about out of time. I'm going to stop with that, and then I'll pick right back up. Thank you for joining, and I really want to see your projects, so please share them with me. God bless, and happy painting, my friend.